Round of applause at Sunday's Timberwolves game. I love this AP NFL Coach of the Year tour that is still going, Coach Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, no, I was joking with my wife. They let me sign that football, but I see, other players and coaches get to throw the football. They don't trust my throwing ability to throw the football. So the mascot took it back and threw it for me. So I didn't know how to take that.
Yeah, we have young quarterbacks for that. Where do you keep this trophy? Where's this Coach of the Year trophy?
Funny enough, I'm glad you asked, Kay. I actually don't have it yet.
Why?
We're in the process of trying to track it down because they don't let you leave with it the night that you get it. You hand it back, and then eventually they send it to you. But that eventually is still ongoing, so we'll keep you posted on that.
Are you telling me that Ben Johnson stole your trophy?
Breaking news! Breaking news! No, I think it's just a logistical thing. Is all I'm hoping. I hope they're not having second thoughts.
Oh, I don't know, 14-win team. It's all happening for you. I don't think anybody's having second thoughts. I was at a golf tournament down in Mayakoba, and I got to see Harrison Smith, who's just like amazing. And I got to meet JJ McCarthy for the first time, and it was awesome. He was on the field, apparently. The shots are very wide. I didn't really get to see anything. What did you pick up and learn yesterday from him?
We can't be. So what you'll notice about that video, Kay,
Yeah.
is there can be no coaches out there yet. So
Oh,
I was up hard at work in my office, and next week we get to get on the grass with the guys, phase two of the off-season program. But that doesn't stop me from asking, Jordan Addison or TJ Hawkinson or Aaron Jones how it went. And the guys are just really excited to get back and get working together. Look, JJ's had a great off-season, and I know he enjoyed that time down there in Mexico and got a chance to golf with, three, Harrison Smith, Adam Thielen, and Case Keenum. I mean, what kind of group is that? That's unbelievable, phenomenal group of guys right there. Having coached all of them, really cool stuff. But here's what I'd say: we're gonna have a great off-season program, and take it day by day with a plan for JJ to allow him to leave for the summer before he comes back here for training camp feeling like he's absolutely ready to go. And he's done his part. I'll tell you that. He's killed the rehab process. He's got his weight back up. He's strong. He's probably, metric wise, a lot further along and beyond even where he was before the injury last year. So very excited to officially get this thing going with him.
who's more excited for his debut? You, him, or Justin Jefferson?
I'd probably say just knowing, just having experienced what it was like when the game got taken away from him last year, I'd probably put JJ one, JJ McCarthy one. That's already, you got to understand, Justin
Tough.
Jefferson, he's Jets around here. He's got to be
Yeah.
Jets or Jettas. And every once in a while, I call him Justin, and he looks at me side-eyed. But yeah, it would probably be Jets and me, 1A, 1B, right after JJ McCarthy as far as the excitement level. And as I told him, because he's working all this offseason up until he kept on telling me, hey, April 21st, April 21st. And I said, when April 21st comes around, you're going to run, you're going to lift, you're going to meet a little bit with the offensive guys, and then the day's going to end. And you're going to, I said, please don't treat this like it's your Super Bowl. Because other than getting to see your whole team and everybody back
Yeah.
in the building, it's really not going to be all that much different than what he had been doing previously.
It's so well said. You're gonna have to like save him, not save him from himself, but coach him so he doesn't he's
Yeah.
shot out of a cannon, and we want that, of course. Coach? Why aren't we naming him the starter? Like, what is take me into that? Why
Well,
not?
unless Kay, I'm unaware of rule changes that allow us to play against not only just phase two. I know you know this, being the
Hmm.
expert on the offseason program that you are. We
Hmm.
can't even line up defensive players from our own team against him yet. So we really don't have a need to have anything more than just development time, learning time, teaching phase
Okay.
for our whole team. But trust me, JJ is going to get all of the prerequisite work for us to come out of the spring feeling great about where he's at and heading into training camp. And as those days and weeks click off the calendar
Mhm.
here, I'm sure he'll be in a great position to do a lot of good things for us.
First team reps, right? I'm just trying to help with these like rumors, like then we're keeping the door open to other quarterbacks coming in. Let's, mm, but I very much understand what you're saying, Coach. And I wanted to congratulate you on Van Ginkle's deal, getting it done early. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. He's absolutely unbelievable. 1 year extension. I'd like to know why it was important to get it done early. And I also, my guess would be that you and Rosenhaus drafted the paperwork on the ride home from London. Because if we just look at, the second I saw that news, I thought of that. I thought of this play. What did you think of this?
Yeah, I still remember, he obviously, had a huge play in the opener, kind of did something similar, intercepting a ball against the Giants, taking it back for a touchdown. And then he does this against the other New York team,
Mm-hmm.
critical moment in the game. I mean, Kay, when I tell you, like, I can remember Brian Flores and I sitting in my office after, the 2023 season and talking about bringing a guy like Andrew Van Ginkle to Minnesota, what his fit would be in our defense, what the master plans were
Yeah.
from Flo and his staff, and then watching it play out with him essentially being a second team All Pro, Pro Bowl starter, so many impactful plays, and really such a perfect fit. And we've got a lot of guys like that where maybe we talk a lot about the quarterback position, and Sam Darnold came to Minnesota and got a chance to be the best version of himself, and now he's off and running with the rest of his career. But we like to think it's much more than just quarterbacks here, and I think Flo and his staff deserve a ton of credit for guys like Andrew Van Ginkle, Josh
Mm-hmm.
Metellus, Blake Cashman, Byron Murphy Jr. out at the corner position, Jonathan Gennard. Like, there's just guy after guy that were perfect scheme fits. And then from a standpoint of makeup and what it means to be a great teammate, what it means to, be smart and tough and fit into a high football IQ kind of defense, Gink was the perfect fit. So we felt it was kind of, it was the right thing to do based upon his performance last year. He was still under contract for this year.
Mm-hmm.
But we felt it was fitting for Gink to not only know he's going to be here beyond this season, but make sure that he felt appreciated for taking a risk, coming to Minnesota, signing with us a year ago, and then watching the next year play out. It was phenomenal to see. Really happy for him and his family.
You did it the right way. I think it's exactly. I think NFL fans, even casual fans, like to see it business handled that way, doing it early, getting it done, doing the right thing, like you're saying, doing right by him, right by his family, right by his work ethic. Every time I look up, I mean, that play that was one of my favorite plays of the year. It was unbelievable. You lose Cam Bynum though. Speaking of flow and all that, and people are going to ask about adding a DB and why whatever. I want to know who's taken over the huge hole of being celebration team captain. Like that's part of your lore, coach.
Yeah, I think it's going to be his co-pilot last year, Josh Metellus, who was a part of a lot of those with Cam. I told Josh the pressure's on, and that was one of the guarantees I had to give Harrison Smith to make sure he came back was you're not going to be required to fill in as you're not going to have to be Batman or Robin in the celebration dances. So I think I'm more likely to run out and participate with Josh Metellus before Harrison Smith will. But we got a lot of characters. We got a lot of guys that I'm sure Metellus will be auditioning throughout the offseason program and training camp. But too much is given, much is required. That standard that was set last year was really something.
How does the new kid fit in? Donovan Jackson. It's all about fit. It's all about culture, toughness. If you take a look at your 2025 draft class, what a flex that I was in my morning meeting, Kevin, and I was like, I don't know what to ask him about this. Like they had a need, they went and addressed it. It's boring. Like I feel like you guys went and did your thing, and I have no questions for you. This is a Super Bowl roster ready to go. What did you make of that draft pick of Donovan?
Yeah, I think that draft pick was really, ultimate teams in this league as they build their offseason plan. The teams that can pair free agency and the draft together so that when the draft comes around, you can take the best player available, take the player that can have a clean path to a significant role with your team. And I think it highlights what we did in free agency a year ago, what we did in free agency this year, knowing that we would only have the 4 picks this year, which inevitably turned into 5, plus Sam Howell being acquired as well. So we really felt good about honing in on certain types of players that fit with what we want on our team, which you mentioned it, smart, tough, guys that will be great teammates and fit into our schemes that we play here in Minnesota. And Donovan, to me, jumped out through the process. I mean, this guy's played a lot of football at guard. He's been physical. He's very strong, 32 reps on the bench. He's got all the size and length that you look for to have to fight the fight against, world-class rushers now in our league. It seems like every week you're highlighting to the team, hey, they've got this 3 technique or this nose tackle. That's a game-changing player inside. It's no longer just those edge rushers with how these teams are being put together. So Donovan checked all those boxes. And then let's not forget, this is a guy in his, quote unquote draft season where you're trying to really, be the best teammate you can be. But in the back of your mind, you're always thinking, how am I being evaluated by NFL teams? And this guy just seamlessly jumps out to left tackle. I think in his first actual start doing it, he had to block Abdul Carter playing against Penn State. And then you think about the teams that they had to beat down the stretch in the college football playoff, playing the likes of Oregon and Texas, and and the teams they had to play to win a national championship. It's pretty remarkable what Donovan was able to do. Showing up here, you always look forward to obviously drafting the player, but then the next day you get them, their family, in your building, and spending that time with him the day after, the morning after we picked him, just confirmed everything that and you thought about the player. Can't wait to get him back here in a few days and get going with him. And it's kind of the same way with a lot of our draft picks, whether it be Ty Felton or Ty Ingram Dawkins, Kobe King, Bartholomew at the tight end spot. All these guys are guys we see roles. We see a clear development plan and path for them to becoming really good NFL players. And it's on us as coaches to make it come to life.
I mean, 80% of your O-line is different from what we saw at the end of last season. That's, Darrisaw back, other additions. What an opportunity. I saw that, what is it, more is required? That was the T-shirt.
Yeah, that was something that Jonathan Grenard and some of our players kind of talked about after the season, and we've got some other things kind of brewing that I'm not a big sign guy. I'm not a big but I wanted those guys to at least have some ownership in that. So we've got that going on. We've got some things. Look, we've won a lot of football games here, but when I think about where ultimately we want to go with this organization and the games we want to play in, we've got to find a way to, all of us, and it starts with me, grow, get better, find a way to individually do our jobs collectively as a group, so that we're doing things to make each other better. And that's my job as the head coach, whether it's other coaches, whether it's the players on our roster, everybody in this building. I want, with a mindset that we're all going to get a little bit better. We're all going to do a little bit more. More is required to get where we want to get to, and that's what we're going to do.
I think it says a lot that you have that was all on the players, that the players have that in them. It says a lot about the culture that you've built, but then they're sort of stewarding and taking ownership of. I really love that. There's teams that it was a heartbreaking finish to the season for you. I don't want to go back to it, but in thinking of like other teams that have that go on, I won't even name them. Not that I worry, but it's like, man, how are they going to get up off the mat? How are they going to do this? I'm not worried about that with your team, and I don't know why. And I don't know if it's because of you or if it's because of like Justin Jefferson and like his emotional lift, which I believe he brings, and like the ability to move on. Like, why am I not worried about you? With your best guess, I don't know. Why am I not worried about what this team is made of?
Well, I think, maybe your observations from afar are probably correct. We've got guys in this building that are made of the right stuff and built the right way, wired the right way. So, I can confirm what you're feeling because I feel the same way. Look, there's 31 teams that in some way, shape, or form are picking yourself up off the mat, whether that's teams that didn't make the playoffs, teams that lost in the playoffs, or, even Kansas City losing in the Super Bowl. As successful as they've been, I'm sure they felt a level of picking themselves off the map, because that's what makes our league so special. It's really hard. It's really hard to win a Super Bowl, and it takes a lot of things, from alignment and the makeup of your team. Culture does matter. I've thought that from day one, walking in the door here. It's been very important to me, and I think what gives me the most hope and positive feelings towards the future is our players have created the culture here. Our players own the culture here, and I think that it matters to them. They feel a personal responsibility to each other. They care about one another, and I do feel we've put together the type of team from a talent standpoint and a makeup standpoint of what we are when we step in between the white lines, that now it's about going to work, making it come to life. It's not just going to happen. It's got to be the things that we do on a minute-to-minute, daily basis to create a team worthy of having a chance to win a championship.
And you certainly have what it takes. And if I were to have to guess right now, and I was saying this in my morning meeting, I'm like, the Vikings should, like, not to put that pressure on you, but I'm like, they're gonna go. Like, I think you guys can go. I do, and I believe in it. And this is like, I'm from Chicago. The NFC North is tough. What makes the NFC North unique going into this year as far as the coaches? Like, I was watching LaFleur give Ben Johnson some, like, it's very like friendly, and like, what makes this group of coaches in the NFC North unique, do you think?
Well, I think the starting point is, I think there's some really dynamic leaders. Dan Campbell and Matt LaFleur have been, proven now as guys that can lead organizations and build football teams that aren't just really good X's and O's wise, and they certainly are. What Dan's been able to do building that culture, and there's exactly what you're signing up for when you play against the Detroit Lions, and we got a lot of respect for those guys, as well as Green Bay. And then from a standpoint of what Ben Johnson was able to do as part of building that thing up with Dan in Detroit, that they're going to be, a really tough football team. They've done some really good things to acquire some new talent to support Caleb on that offensive side, and they've always had really good personnel defensively, and they just keep on slowly building that up. So I think from a standpoint of the three teams that are in the NFC North with us, it's incredibly competitive. Every single game, we know each other well. We know the ins and outs of each other's teams, and the X's and O's are always really high level. The football's high level, and then they're competitive all the way down to the very end. It's an absolute grind, winning games in our division. So you've got to start building the formula for your team now. You got to start doing it now. You got to start building it up throughout the offseason, understanding the challenges that are ahead in our division. And that's ultimately what sets you up the most to be a championship worthy team, is having a chance to win your division. And when you can do it in a tough division like ours, I mean, just look at last year alone. I think we had three teams make the playoffs. We had three teams that very much win total wise put themselves in a position to be a part of the conversation when January came around. And I expect it to be no different this year, and certainly expect Ben and Chicago with what they're doing to continue ascending and being right there as well. So it's going to be a week in and week out grind. There's some good divisions in the NFL. There's no question about that as you look at the landscape of the league. But I would put ours right up there with any of them.
I mean, yeah, I kind of like the idea that they're like getting at each other, and you're just like, yeah, I'll just be over here winning 14 games and being nice to everybody. I like how you handle yourself within that division. So before I let you go, you're telling me, and I should know this, I didn't know this, that right now those, like, they can be in the facility throwing and you can't go, like, right now they're doing stuff and you can't be over there?
Yeah, phase one rules. We get them for
That
4
sucks.
hours.
Like, I would be
We get them
itching.
for 4 hours. I gotta I gotta limit my the guys always put me on the clock in the team meetings anyway, because I could get going and go for a long time. So I gotta limit that, and then give the coaches time to start coaching their rooms and the offense and defense and special teams, and then they lift and get some running in. But this time of year, Kay, is about those guys coming back in the building and spending some time together, getting in the weight room together, getting bigger, faster, stronger, and then we slowly but surely start incorporating us coaches out on the field with them when the time is right. But unique rules. I don't know how much longer we'll have the off season in its present form, but it is what it is right now, and we're going to maximize it.
Go find that trophy. Enjoy the off season. Hopefully some family time. And we will see you in OTAs when we get to see JJ McCarthy unleashed, not as a starter, but just, trying to do his thing and earn a spot. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you. Always appreciate it.
Appreciate you so much. We'll be back. We'll actually be back tomorrow from the Kentucky Derby.